Good morning. Today is Monday, October 7th, 2019. And the aspiration of this video is to provide a global message rather than an individual message or a national message, a global message of what humanity is experiencing at this time. What is the thing that we are all feeling and experiencing in our own unique way, according to our own individual imprint of our being in this world, in form at this time. And the biggest thing that came up for me is that we are, and I'm sure it's not a surprise to anybody, two things I wanted to say before we start that are a given when I do a video. Number one, there's going to be a dog or cat that interrupts this and barks or jumps on my lap or does something. The second thing is that I'm kind of a quirky person. I have a lot of electrical energy in my body. I work as a healer. I work as a medium. And I feel a lot of beings around me whenever I talk here. Pressing on my head, stroking my cheek, and I get sort of filled with energy by their great divine merciful assistance. They're the ones that have really guided me to start to do these videos, even though I've never been somebody to be in front of a camera much. It's always been my daughter that did that role, but now I have her great giggly effervescent assistance, so she gives me a lot of energy as I do this, and she blends with me. She's here right now, and that makes me so happy. So there's an added benefit when I do the video, create it, that I will have the joy to experience her loving presence, her hilarious presence. So the biggest thing, when I was looking, I sat this morning for 2 hours and I studied charts. I studied the lunar eclipse that we had last July 16th, which I felt was going to set up a 6-month period of profound change, and that we were going to go through an accelerated time of change. That each day may feel more intensified by the energies, especially now, as we discussed before, as Saturn and Pluto have now gone direct. That energy is moving forward and it's taking us with him. It's kind of like being a volcanic eruption and the lava is pouring down. That's Pluto, that triple fire of Pluto, and we're caught up in the lava flow, and we cannot resist it. We have to go with it. So change is coming, and it's a change that's been triggered by, at a core level, all the souls on earth have called forth this change, because all over the world, at a soul level, we came in at this time to effect change, to be part of the change. So the older beings on earth right now, or the younger ones that are very evolved, have gone through, not that all of us older ones are evolved, have gone through tremendous issues and situations and losses, and healed our wounds, hopefully, if we've done deep introspection and dealt with our suffering and grown from our suffering, and we're ready at some core level for these times. Personally, I went through the death of 3 mates suddenly. Each mate died within a period of, I was with my husband for 21 years. He died within a matter of a day. My second mate that I was with 9 years, he died a week before we would get married. And my third mate died when I was in Europe with him for a year. Very suddenly, I took about 4 or 5 days with him. So I'm not saying this for you to feel a lot of sympathy for me. I'm sharing it that, and then of course the biggest situation of death came along for me at age 69 when my beloved precious daughter died, and 2 years before that when my beloved stepson died when I was 67. I would say the hardest challenge of letting go and growing with the situation was when my daughter passed. But what all of those situations of suffering did, and this is what we're going through on our planet right now, everything feels extremely intensified and filled with loss, growth, and confusion and distraction and divisiveness, and all of this is just bubbling up. But what I wanted to say about those deaths is it brought me into the other realms. It brought me into the death realms where I could actually see and hear those that had passed on, and that gave me a great solace with my daughter, because as the grief lifted, here comes the dog, as the grief lifted, my vibration lifted, and I was able to hear her and feel her and unite with her amazing presence. And I feel I changed a lot as an individual due to the fact that we blended. We had one of those rare connections where we actually blended. I do not feel that with anybody else that passed. I felt the loss of them, or the shift of not having their beautiful form close by me, and that love and those hugs and all that tenderness. But I never felt the blending with Gigi. It was just like she came right down inside me and spread out into me. And I even noticed that I'm attracted to wearing different colors. I am feeling the essence of her joyfulness, her wild giggles, her tremendous sense of humor, and her lightness of being. It's helped me to lighten up. Even though I have my days of still wishing she was here, that I could physically hug her, I literally do feel her stroke my cheek or come and kiss my brow at night, or in a reading be right beside me saying the most outlandish things, which I have to then restrain myself and try to translate it into something logical, or sometimes just completely say it as it is, because she was very intuitive. So we're going through this change, and we have called forth this change, and this change does not have to be as dramatic and difficult and chaotic as we are making it. This is for all of us, because we get caught up in the news, we get caught up in feeling alone, in feeling everything's falling apart around us. That, for example, in America, our Constitution's falling apart. All the laws, all the things that were respected, no, they're not happening anymore. This is Pluto. And as Jupiter moves through Sagittarius and into Capricorn for the solar eclipse on Christmas evening, it's going to be right there on that sun and moon and Jupiter, expanding all of the effects of Saturn and Pluto. And it will move forward, and on January 10th of 2020, there will be a lunar eclipse. That one will be at 20 degrees. So Jupiter, Saturn, the Sun, and Pluto will all be opposing the moon. So that's a big doozy. But I want to say that this increase of energy, it's like riding the most fantastic, spirited, wild, crazy, brave, expansive horse. And so sitting on a peaceful horse, a quiet horse, is still lovely because you're with a horse and you're riding it and everything is feeling, peaceful. But when you get on, there's nothing in the world like getting on a horse where you have to every moment be in a state of full awareness, of full on um, uh, every sort of cell of your being is aware of the tangible electricity of this horse, and you have to be alert, and you can actually embody and use the power of that horse to create tremendous internal growth within yourself. And if you focus on your goals and on restructuring your own crystallized being, getting rid of all those old painful stories that you've carried forever, and this is for all of us on the earth, all of us, this setting up of energies, we're moving toward it over the next 3 months. And so this is an opportunity for all of us. And but we are also going to experience a lot of changes. So we may experience the loss of a beloved animal or of somebody we hold dear, or we may feel like we've lost our financial stability or our best friend, or that we feel solitary and alone because it's Capricorn. It's about climbing the hills internally, sometimes feeling alone. So the biggest thing we have to remember is that we are supported through this by tremendous spiritual energy, more than we could ever access before. Because as much as the intangible forces of intensity and pressure are bearing down upon us, there is also an equal amount of light and profound expansion of our soul. That's just the reason we're feeling so edgy, is our soul wants us to clear our being of all of its painful suffering, and to take its ancient wounds and to cut them open and let them bleed out, and to feel, oh my God, I just dropped 6 bags that I was carrying on my shoulders, and I'm now able to fill myself with extraordinary light. I'm able to be a light unto the world. So this is a time of great capability, if we are willing to take the time to go inwards. And what does that mean, going inwards? That means going into silence. It means walking in the nature. It means sitting quietly with someone we love dearly, and letting the internal energy speak heart to heart. It means not passing people on the street that are in suffering, but instead allowing each person's experience to enlarge our capability to love and to connect. And for example, today we're seeing a whole nation in Syria, be the Kurds, just kind of left on their own to struggle. And there are ways that we can participate with our voice to express that we want to help still these people, and we want to feel the advancement of our country's capacity to have compassion and forgiveness and involvement. Not all change has to be difficult. I wrote some notes here. Change can evoke thoughts of upheaval and instability and even great fear. Change can bring about a lot of fear within us, like nothing is as it was before. And the great masters will tell you, so what is being in the moment? What does that really mean? And I want you to think of it at the moment of your birth, when you came out, the heavens were in a specific geometrical structure, and they imprinted your energy field at the exact moment of birth with a configuration that would help you to achieve your aspirations in this life, to heal your karma from past lives, and to heal the deepest wounds of your soul. And so then the heavens, they didn't just stop there on that moment you were born. The heavens kept moving and shifting and changing moment by moment, second by second, millisecond by millisecond. So what being in the moment truly means energetically is realigning and being in such a state of heightened awareness that you are moving with the change. So when things slow down, you're slowing down. You're getting into the rhythm of your own being. You're getting into the cycles of your own life. And you're listening to the cycles like the ancient beings used to do, like the ancient Druids, or the in the times of Pythagoras, or the Aborigines, or the North American Indian. They were living close to the earth, so they lived close to the seasons. They lived close to the movement of the heavens, and they honored that. They weren't pushing against. It's just like our body. We need to, it's like when I used to ride a horse, and I'd get on the horse and I'd say to the horse, well, what do you feel like today? And I would be very still, and I would listen. I would feel his energy. I would feel the amount of spirit he had to expend that day. I would feel if there was any soreness in his body. I would feel if his mind was relaxed. I would feel if he was emotionally frightened about something or carrying a fear. Say he'd gone over a jump that scared him, or a piece of plastic on the ground, or whatever it was. I was tuning into him. Well, we need to take that time each day and look at all these planets of change, and the eclipses triggering even more change, and Pluto's upheaval and Saturn's decrystallization of everything that we thought was the way it was. And we need to do the same thing. We need to tune in. Okay, where am I physically today? What is my body up to today? I'm not just going to take it to the gym and force it to go through a regime because today's Monday. What is my body feeling today? Maybe it feels like having me put on some beautiful dance and just flow gently and not push at it today. Maybe today isn't a day where I have this overriding fiery energy that I need to expend some of it and tame it a little bit. Just like that horse one day may need that big gallop in the field to just let some of that out, that volcanic energy out. And then he's happy to walk on a loopy rein and saunter along in the nature and feel joyful and peaceful. We have to do that with our bodies every day. The second thing, where am I emotionally today? And the heavens will be impacting you. As we all know, we move towards new moons or full moons. As we move toward the full moon, things intensify. My schedule starts filling up like crazy. The lockdown wards at the hospitals fill up on the full moon, moving with the tides of the water in our body and the energies within our being. So these moons are affecting us, the different moons in the heavens. Thirdly, how is my mind today? Is my mind settled? Is it filled with worry? Am I expending too much energy being distracted by what's going on in the world and some things I can't help? And I'm worrying and worrying and worrying, and I'm taking all this wonderful, glorious energy and I'm focusing it on and filling energy on a situation that is utterly negative. Should I be doing that? Hey there, station man, that's enough. There he is, scratching away. Fourthly, how am I connecting with my Holy Spirit? What is my wisdom self telling me today that would be good today? How are the heavens assisting me today? Am I taking enough soulful time? After all, I am a spirit in a body. Am I honoring my Holy Spirit, my soulful, magnificent, deep, wise, loving heart? Am I honoring that? That is really why we're here, to learn how to love, how to grow in wisdom, how to grow in angelic mercy. So these times of change can bring us into great individual metamorphosis to such a degree that if we look back 6 months from now, Seisha, come on babe, don't do that, Seisha. If we look back 6 months from now, and there's an effective change that I have to stay calm through. If we look back 6 months from now, we would go, oh my gosh, like how much I have changed. And if you think back just a week ago, how much intensified energy we've all experienced as individuals in this world, are creatures too, being affected by it. The trees, the earth, the waters absorbing all this emotional and mental fear. The earth's reacting to our distortion of life, our distorted perceptions of life. So the main thing is that I found this wonderful healing process and affirmation from the Mother Mary Oracle Guidebook. This is one of the most beautiful decks that I've ever seen, and I just love the artwork in it. And Alana Fairchild created this. Imagine you're outside a sunlit room that is quiet and serene, and you feel drawn to enter that room because it feels so lovely and peaceful. Become aware of the sound of gentle, relaxed breathing. You sense a mother lovingly holding a child. Both are completely peaceful, and they're breathing easily in harmony with each other. This is a harmony that nothing can disturb. There's a chair in the room for you, and the mother smiles at you as you enter and sit in the chair. Close your eyes and sit comfortably in that chair, and let yourself be a part of that peace, sitting quietly in that room. Stay there for as long as it feels good for you, and then finish by saying aloud the following affirmation. Our Lady of Peaceful Change, Divine Mother Mary, who loves me without condition, is with me now. I accept her love, her protection and sublime grace with gratitude and trust. I open to divinely inspired change for the greatest good. So be it. I send you my love, and I hope that you feel within yourselves today incredible angelic mercy for all of life, for yourself and for those around you that are suffering. And may you access the greatest, deepest wells of wisdom within you. Thank you so much. If you would be interested in a personal astrological mediumship reading, I'm here for you. My email is angelicmercy44@gmail.com. God be with you. Thank you.